to go racing in the desert here at Phoenix Raceway. And I tell you,
drivers, start your engines.
One thing to keep in mind, we're going to hear a lot of the drivers and crew chief reference this. There was an IndyCar race earlier today, 250 contact with Alfredo.
Jeff Burton got in his left rear there.
Looks like everybody's going to be able to gather it up.
Yeah, but this is where it gets risky. You see Justin Allgaier on the outside of 3 wide. Williams Walsh to the bottom. They figure that out.
Onboard Sam Mayer, this is the GOVX onboard. Parker talked about the fact they dropped to the rear at the start because of the changes they made. He's up to 28th in the running order.
Well, nobody wants to start in the rear, but it's really fun if you have a fast car. You see him just going wherever they're not.
As we look back, yeah, Jeb just lost the nose there.
Anthony gave him a lot of room. Walking up the racetrack, and Jeb just couldn't keep it down.
Those white gloves, perfect though. I mean, you saw him working that thing through the corner.
More than content right there. As you see, we're gonna have a little race for the lead here. Jesse Love gets high, trying to get by the lap car.
42 Nathan Bird going to the outside of him is Love.
It's gonna be close when they get down here.
Next
Eight's
car
gonna be
they'll see
inside.
LeVar Scott in the 45. Battle for the lead is on. Sammy Smith looking to the inside of Jesse Love.
Well, Jesse's in such a vulnerable position because Sammy's been catching him a couple tenths a lap.
Should be able to get a good run here, but if Sammy is able to get beside him,
it just
not quite.
Where does the 45 decide to go here? He gives some clean air to the 2 car right there, but look at how much lower the 8 connects it. Look at the speed he has.
The bottom basically there, just couldn't hold it.
4 to go on the stage. New leader, Sammy Smith. Outstanding opening stage here at Phoenix. Final lap of the stage. Sammy Smith is out in front of the 2 of Jesse Love.
Look at how low the 8 seems slide back up there a little bit. Didn't hook the bottom.
That's 55 Joey Gase putting him a lap down, so he'll be the free pass car most likely when we end this first stint of the race.
I think the 2's learning from the 8. I saw him run a completely different line. He'd been running a little higher. Completely different line that time through 1 and 2.
Back to the green and white checkered flag. Sammy Smith. Strong start in Phoenix. It's his 7th career stage win. First time he has delivered here in the desert.
It was real tight back there. Sam Mayer got to the back bumper of Jeff Burton. Started to get him a little bit looser as well. It's a horrible place to be in the middle. Oh, in contact. Red Cruz in the left rear. Sammy Smith moving up the racetrack. 4 wide for a second. Sammy gathers it up.
Oh, how quickly things can change. You win the stage. You lose the race off pit road, you get compromised, and now you're in traffic in an absolute dogfight as Sammy Smith.
Well, Brent Cruz has his hands full right here on this restart. That car just doesn't have the rear grip that he needs, and I don't think Sammy knew that he was there. Brent was almost on the apron inside of him when they made that contact. You got to set the cars up, though, free on these initial runs so that it doesn't build too tight as the run goes on. That's why you see all these guys fighting for rear grip right now.
Top 10, 4 cars from JRM. 4 from Joe Gibbs Racing, and give a call to the Haas Factory team. 00 is Sheldon Creed. We're riding on board with Sam Mayer, who's come from the back, and he's knocking on the door of the top 10.
Take a look right here. You see Brent Cruz is going to be just to the left rear of Sammy Smith. Let's see how much room he has right here. Yeah, I mean, it's like Sammy just didn't realize that he was in there. That's a terrible angle that the spotters have looking at that. It's not a blind spot. It's just you're almost directly behind them when you're trying to spot. And these guys, they're still going at it, yeah.
Sammy's like, please get away from my left rear.
Right.
But this track will play a big role in the fall when we come here as we start thinking about who's going to be the 2026 champ.
And to that point, when you talk to these teams and drivers, every race feels so important with this format. They're learning that in real time, and you can just tell they know how important every point is.
Something tells me we'll be talking about this guy
Most
again.
likely.
Second stage victory of 2026 for Jesse Love. Brings it to the green and white checkered flag. RCR has just been unbelievable this season. when you talk about stage victories, leading laps, and scoring points. And speaking of scoring points, final stage point goes to Jeremy Clements. Those 4 in a wad for the last 4 positions in the time.
Everybody knows how important it is right now to get that position.
And, you know, stage 1, stage 2, plenty of fuel to go all the way through the end of the stage. But you will have to make a pit stop in this final stage. Once we get right around lap 115, 120, 80, 85 to go is when you're in the window. Caution comes out then. You'll be pit in contact. Young teammates, Cruz and Sorolich.
Oh, that's risky to do as well to that section.
Well, it looked to me like Brent Cruz was frustrated with the 18. I think the last lap down in 3 and 4, the 18 slid up, kind of got in his line. It's tempers, competitive drivers wanting to get to the front. I think Brent knew how good he was that last run. It's like, can't give up this position right now.
And this specific racetrack, for every reason, it can be really annoying when someone sort of hurts your momentum, because you can lose a couple positions, and the way you come off these corners at such a slower speed and then have to do these long straightaways, when they hurt your momentum, it just feels like it's killed your race in some respects, so you can get very frustrated. It's a nice donut there. Hopefully the tire doesn't get cut down or anything like that.
Sammy Smith was completely fine with
he
those
was
two
like,
going at it. He cut the dog leg. Got the 2-for-1 right there.
And now you flash back to the front and just can't say enough about the night that Carson Kvapil has put together. Did not finish in the top 10 here last year. But I'm telling you, final stage, Rodney Childers has him teed up, and here he is right at the front and closing on Jesse Love.
I don't know what kind of magic Rodney has that he feels for this place, but obviously he's put it into that one car, because over the last 10 or so laps, he is consistently cut into that lead that Jesse Love has. And lap after lap is just a little bit faster, sometimes a lot faster than the two Jesse Love, and seem to be running similar lines as they change a little bit there, but definitely similar lines over the last few laps, just simply faster. Let's take a listen to his radio.
There you go, buddy. He can't run the bottom in 3 and 4, so when you get close, you're going to be able to drive right by him down here. Keep hitting your marks, nothing out back.
Side by side on CW always delivers. So do these 2 young drivers at the front. Jesse Love trying to hang on to the lead, but Carson Kvapil putting on the full court press.
Well, the lap cars have hurt the 2 more than it did the 1. The 1 was already running in dirty air as Jesse Love would catch those lap cars. He's been reporting that he's too tight. Those lap cars just make it even worse, but the discipline of the 1 car right now on the bottom to not want to drive in there and move the 2 car up the racetrack is really good. He's definitely got the better car, but Jesse is doing an exceptional job of keeping him pinched down a little bit on entry. I think you're later in the race, you see a different battle right here, but Carson just being super disciplined across the bottom. He's finally, maybe use the pick right here of LeVar Scott, gonna get by.
And you could see where Jesse was tight there. He went up the racetrack in the center. Now it's getting real tight with LeVar Scott on the outside.
Jesse's trying to force it through the middle right here. LeVar Scott gives him a little bit of room.
Oh, that's tight.
All right, it starts over. We see what we can do with the next lap car.
Love understands the importance of control.
Yeah,
you don't want to give it up here.
That was really tight, and Carson is playing with mittens here in a lot of respects, giving plenty of room to Jesse.
Well, these 2 are going to have to pay attention, because the Haas factory team of Creed and Mayer are slowly catching these guys. With them running side by side, it's hurt their lap times, 3 or 4 tenths a lap. Sheldon Creed and Sam Mayer are making up a lot of time right now. We're going to have a four-car race before too long.
Yeah, if this goes for another lap, the team members on the 1 car are going to be telling Carson, let's go, time to go, you're faster. See if he clears them here. He does. Off the 2 to Jesse, fight back to the inside.
Little crossover. Jesse Love down to the inside.
Well, we saw the same thing earlier in the race. As soon as Sammy Smith was able to get by Jesse Love, he corrected and found some speed. Let's see if he can hold Carson off. That's so frustrating for the 1 car.
Little crossover once again through the shortcut, the dog leg.
There were like 7 times I had the Kvapil car out front, and he just couldn't finish it off. Love has been so tenacious on the outside. The crossover moved to the inside. They continue side by side for the top spot.
This is great racing amongst these 2.
Well, it's awesome for us to watch, but it's frustrating as can be for Carson being on the inside. Jesse's just doing an awesome job. Finally has him clear. If you're the 1 car now, you just want to run whatever line you think Jesse Love needs. try to give him some dirty airs. They're going to have another lap car right here in front. You see Jesse Love roll to the outside, but the one car is so good at cutting the center of the corner, exiting low, getting a good drive on exit. You see the two can't even get any momentum build up running that higher line.
Felt like Jesse was just delaying the inevitable there for a little bit, as the one just looks so good. And you mentioned right there that rotation through the center, and then just has such a straight drive off. Look at him start to vault away. That one car is hooked up right now.
Well, if you're Carson Kvapil, you want to get as big a lead as you can, because if we do have a green flag pit stop, it buys you a little bit of a mulligan, getting on pit road, a little bit for your pit crew. You don't have to push the pit road speed to the max. Can't get a penalty late in the race.
You look at Jesse Love, dominates the race. He's led 112 laps tonight. But here we are, close to the fourth quarter of the event, and it's Carson Kvapil who's taken over, looking for his first career victory.
As you see Carson Kvapil in that one-car pit from the lead. About 15 laps in that run, he did say he felt like it was starting to build tight. They told him, you're doing great, buddy. Just keep grabbing that paint. Most recent update, he said, just a little tight center here, not bad. I'm slipping the rear, so we will look for at least an air pressure adjustment, as he'll take 4 fresh Goodyear tires. Sunoco fuel on that Carson Kvapil one machine.
Saw Jesse Love also making his scheduled green flag pit stop. And this is the last set of sticker tires all of these teams have in their pit stalls. So should there be a caution, you could come back, but the question would become, what do you have for tires? You just have to put on some scuffs.
And now if you're Carson Kvapil, you kind of have to make up for what you lost here through the cycle, and hope maybe just those couple more laps on tires as we go through this run can give you that little advantage on the backside of the run. Use what worked for you in that last run, especially late. Don't let it get to you that you've lost the lead here and have to make up this time all at once. You can do it methodically with 42 to go. But as you mentioned, I think that Sheldon Creed, that 00, was pretty quick at the end of that run, right as they get the green flag pit stops.
A bit of irony here, too, because Creed got his first career victory a couple of weeks ago. Kvapil chasing his tonight. They're trading spots out front as we go through the cycle of stops. Inside of 40 laps to go, and we get our first caution of the night for an incident on track. Rookie driver LeVar Scott going for a slide, and that happens as we were just about ready to have a battle for the race lead. Creed out in front of Kvapil, but the one was moving quickly.
It happened off of 2 here for LeVar Scott, is running 34th, and for Sheldon Creed, maybe this is kind of what you wanted to see.
Oh, I think it's his only shot.
It was bleeding quickly right there, losing a ton of time. Carson made up almost 3/10 in one set of corners. So maybe a chance just to reset here.
Hopefully get the tires cooled down just a little bit, and hope that it wasn't necessarily that Carson was that fast. Creed was just going slow that run. It looked to me like the balance got really loose. I saw him slide a few times through turns 1 and 2, and Carson just steady Eddie there, motoring him down quick.
As we take a look back at this, that's Anthony Alfredo on the inside of the 96. And just, wasn't clear. There's a car there.
Free pass here going to go to Raja Caruth, driving the 32 this week for Jordan Anderson, and he's back in the 20th spot. So we'll have 20 cars on the lead lap.
Sending a bit of a message, possibly a little frustrated with going by LeVar Scott there.
You were talking about Kvapil and how good he's been tonight and how consistent, and he's been great at getting stage points all season long in every race. But here are the leaders in the Poet restart zone. 29 laps to go.
Oh, Sheldon got really loose. He got a bump there from Jesse Love. It unsettled him. Look at Mayer to the middle.
Mayer from the back trying to get the race lead. Kvapil outside. Creed shoots through to the top spot.
Wow, both Hobbs factory team cars to the front, first and second, both Creed and Mayer.
Jesse Love is right there. And right behind him, Jeremy Clements, who continues inside the top 5. Teammates side by side.
Really didn't work out for Carson Kvapil there. On that restart, he just sort of got blocked on the top side.
Sam Mayer from the back. Look at that, all the way to the lead, trying to get by his teammate Creed. Creed, though, is going to hold tight. We saw this earlier with Jesse Love in the race. That outside, you kind of pinch the guy down a little bit on entry. Not letting him open that up. So you see Jesse Love fighting to get to the outside. Doesn't like being on the bottom of the track right there.
Sam Mayer side drafting his teammate. They're side by side into one. How brave are you down in here?
Well, if you're Creed, you're going to drive in there just a little bit deeper.
Yep.
Make sure you can stay side by side. Both of those guys just,
Big crash.
Caution, still outside.
Couple of drivers for Joe Gibbs Racing involved. 18 is William Sawalich. 20, Brandon Jones. 31 here, Blaine Perkins. Caution number 4. And the second time we put the yellow in the air for an incident in this final stage.
So here we are going through the dog leg. You see Brandon Jones side by side with Ryan Sieg, the 39. Down into one. Sammy Smith's down there. Oh, it's kind of what we saw earlier.
it's that angle for the spotter.
It's so tough for the spotter, and for Brandon, I don't think he fully knew the 8 was there.
Well, you're worried about the guy on the outside, not necessarily the one on your left rear, and it takes zero. It takes just minimal contact right here. You're already vulnerable, loose. Yeah, I just don't think that Brandon knew that Sammy Smith was to his inside. Oh, gets his teammate Taylor Gray.
Yeah, with reference.
Three JVR
that was
cars.
an expensive wreck for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Well, unfortunately, not the first time this year we've seen it. You go back to Daytona, had 4 DNFs. I mean, they have had a rough ride at times so far this season.
And it's not only for the spotters, that situation with that dog leg and how it's so much racing space. It's disorienting for the drivers as well, because you don't have a good visual of where the lanes are, right? There's so much space out there that as you congest back into the corner.
They're getting after it at Phoenix.
Bottom row really struggling to put the power down. Look at Creed. Is it maybe in the preferred position right here? Can he carry the momentum through 1 and 2? Down the backstretch, they're really high.
Went up. Look at Carson Quapple, the bottom. 3 wide right there. Jesse Love all the way at the bottom.
Creed on the point. Mayer trying to get second. Here comes Love on the inside. 2-car dancing around. He hangs on to it, and he's a runner-up. Allgaier coming through, making a rally late. He's now 3rd.
Adam, your prediction might come true. Look at the 7th of Allgaier. You mentioned it, from 6th. Finds himself in a great position right here with 14 to go to the outside of Jesse Love. I can't believe it.
If you're the competition, the last guy you want to race in this situation is Allgaier. The shoe is usually on the other foot. Tonight he's trying to come from behind, and he is there as we hit 13 laps remaining.
Well, Justin's committed to getting to the outside of the 2 cars. It looks like Jesse Love's going to be inside of Creed.
There goes Love.
Creed had a terrible exit of turn 4, lost 2 positions.
Jesse back on point after dominating the opening couple of stages. Now he's in control with Allgaier behind him.
Oh, this is Sheldon Creed getting in the wall. Yeah, he's not quite had the handle on that car.
Oh, look at Allgaier. I mean, he is just dogging Jesse Love.
Well, if he can get to his outside, that's a very vulnerable position for Jesse Love to be in. And he gets there right here, and he gets the momentum down the backstretch. He's going to be in position to do it.
The comeback kid. Actually, he's 39 years old. The veteran. He's a champ, just like the guy to his left. He's had plenty of issues tonight, but as we hit 10 laps to go, Justin Allgaier leading again at Phoenix.
Adam, I thought that was so far-fetched when you called it at the start. If it could be Allgaier's night, but look at that, to the front.
And here's the other thing, you want control right now, because we saw the restart from last year in overtime. This place has a history of overtime. You want to be in control. If we get in that situation, Allgaier is now, Quapple through to 3rd, and it's the teammates Creed and Mayer racing for 4th.
And that was so important for Carson Quapple to clear Sheldon Creed right there. He could see the leaders get single file. Justin Allgaier in the lead. If he wants a chance to go after them, he had to get that done right when he did. And see if he had some of the speed we saw earlier in this stage in that 1 car.
Big slide out of the back of the 7 car right there through turns 1 and 2. Jesse Love trying to learn like he did earlier in the race when Sammy Smith was able to go by. Look at how deep he drives in the corner. Going to wash up a little bit here in 3 and 4. Trying to stay out of the dirty air of the 7 car.
8 laps to go.
It's not over. The 2 cars hounded him. Kind of thought that Allgaier might be able to drive away. He's changed his lineup here a little bit and to use the apron.
Well, and in some ways, this reminds me of that championship race where Jesse Love would be teased with the advantage and have it taken away. But every time he responded, here's got two-car looking outside of the 7 of Justin Allgaier.
They're going to have to warn Allgaier right here what's happening. The two-car driving in so deep, and that's one of the things he said he learned last year coming to this race was a really hard entry into turn 3, and he's still able to get the car turned.
4 to go. Allgaier starts 17th, weren't where they wanted to be in qualifying, drives up inside the top 10, top 5, scores stage points into stage 1. And the issue on pit road at one point was as far back as 21st, but he's able once again to respond. They had a good strategy through the cycle of green flag pit stops, gained some track position there, got the caution he needed, delivers on the restart, and he would love to close the deal and get his 3rd win at Phoenix. He's 3 laps away.
Just a lap prior, Carson Kvapil was the fastest of these 3, but on that last lap, Justin Allgaier responded faster than both of those behind him. Found a little something.
The key for Allgaier is to have a good turns 1 and 2. He's not anywhere near as quick as Jesse in 3 and 4. Watch how deep the 2-car drives in. He gains so much ground on entry. Doesn't really lose it on exit, which is unique. Jesse's run that little bit higher line, but Allgaier put it together that lap.
It's like Jesse's completely reprofiled the corner there. A ton of entry value, then slides all the way up on the exit and makes it work.
Jesse's cutting that dog leg off, trying to take as much time out of the racetrack as he can. He just cannot get close enough to Justin, pushing that car to the limit.
Down the back straightaway to turns 3 and 4.
Look at that.
Unbelievable how much deeper he's driving
Like
in
he's
there.
10 mile an hour faster on the entry, but just can't quite get there, slide it off all the way down to the dog leg.
White flag is out, 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank for what's ahead. Allgaier's crew chief, Andrew Overstreet, celebrating a birthday today. The best gift that he could get is a trophy at Phoenix. What a rally for the 17. Won the championship here a couple of years ago, and tonight he gets the Phoenix hat trick. Justin Allgaier, a winner again in the desert.
Let's go, boys! Happy birthday, Andrew! Good job, man. Y'all crushed it. Excellent work. Recovery. That's awesome. Great job, 7 crews. Y'all all deserve this. Hey, no burnout interviews. We're going to enjoy this. Good job, guys.
They respected what Andrew brought to the table, the way he operates, but a lot of pressure for Andrew to come here to a team that's been so successful, won a championship, wanted to get in victory lane early. They've done it.
So many times he's left here disappointed because he led so many laps, didn't get the payoff. He comes from behind tonight, and Justin Allgaier gets the checkered flag in the GOVX 200.